Can this season not end? How many lows are there going to be in this season? Manchester City have beaten Chelsea yet again. Of course, Manchester City were sensational. Of course, they are one of the best teams ever assembled. And of course, I have a terrible feeling that they are on for a treble. At the end of the game there, the fans stormed the pitch in celebration and there was a banner. It read 1 down, 2 to go, the treble is on. I have a terrible feeling that that banner could be correct. They are sensational. And Julian Alvarez demonstrates he is a microcosm of quite how good they are. He isn't even the main man, and yet he would be far and away the best player in Chelsea's entire squad. We, on the other hand, are totally and utterly all over the place. Having the misfortune of watching Kai Havertz play football is something that I would not wish on my worst enemy. It was a futile performance, a poor performance. It was a performance lacking in anything that I want to see from my team. When you think of all of the attributes that you want to see from a football team, everything that you love to see, regardless of the level, regardless of the talent, everything that you want to see from a team. Courage, tenacity, heart, spirit, bit of flair maybe, bit of aggression, just didn't exist in this Chelsea team. It's just not there. We do not have it. We do not possess anything. And this squad, and I know that it feels rather odd for a squad that is so voluminous to be pulled apart, and for me to say that Chelsea need more players, more signings. But I think that we are lacking so much that we desperately need more. We desperately need more players because this squad are so lacking in so much. Like when you look, Kepa Arrizabalaga started in goal today, for example. The bloke is not good enough. He cost a fortune and we panic bought him. Off the back of Thibaut Courtois going to Real Madrid, Chelsea panicked. And we signed Kepa Arrizabalaga off the back of one half-decent season in La Liga. It was a mistake, and it was one that has been so costly for so long. So seeing him between the sticks is a real problem. You then look through the team, and there are so many underwhelming players. Kai Havertz, I mean, he must be a nightmare to play against, mustn't he? The movement, the way that he'll run every channel, the way that he's so filthy, the way that he really does give... I wish. It's just so poor from him. And, you know, when you see players like, I don't know, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who I like, but Ruben Loftus-Cheek, he wasn't good enough half a decade ago. Why is he still at Chelsea? How is he still starting games for Chelsea? It really doesn't make any sense. And then, when you're looking at the players that Chelsea brought on, it just emphasises the desperation and the mismanagement at boardroom level from this club. Like, we're bringing on Kalidou Koulibaly. Koulibaly is not good enough to play Premier League football. That's a fact. He's clearly not good enough to play Premier League football. And the fact that he is coming on alongside a player like Mykhailo Mudryk, who we clearly overspent on. You know, at the time, it felt like we got one over on Arsenal, but that just isn't the case. Christian Pulisic coming on again. Somebody who doesn't really want to be at the club. You know, his father has been tweeting out over the years that he doesn't want to play for Chelsea. So, I don't know. And watching Chelsea get so dismantled by a team like Man City who rested all of their good players. Like, all of their best players were rested. And yet they managed to ease past Chelsea at a canter. They could have scored more. And ultimately, the game wasn't really a contest. You know, Conor Gallagher did quite well early on. I thought maybe he put Chelsea 1-0 up. But ultimately, City dominated. City bossed the game. And as a result, we've had the misfortune, due to the fixture list, of having to give them a guard of honour. It's humiliating. You know, they've won the league with games to spare, partly because sides like Chelsea have not competed. You know, last season, if you think about how the atmosphere would have been at the Etihad, it would have been anxious because they were 2-0 down, weren't they, against Aston Villa, and then ended up pipping Liverpool to the title by a point. This time round, City fans were laughing. You know, they were basking in the warm sunshine, knowing that the title was already under lock and key. It was in the bag. And they also knew that potentially more silverware was to follow in what's probably going to be a historic season for them. It's horrible, isn't it? And that is a ridiculous sentence I've just said there. Probably going to be historic. I now think that we're in a situation where winning the treble is more likely than them not winning the treble. Manchester City are more likely to win the treble than not. And it's just awful. And when you look at what's happened, the impact of Arsenal's capitulation yesterday, it allows City to rest their big boys. City have managed to rest some of their biggest players. I think they had a bench that cost £484 million. Erling Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne, Jack Grealish, Rodri, Bernardo, Gundogan, Ruben Diaz, John Stones, Ederson. All substitutes. And they still beat us. That wealth of talent, all on the subs bench. The best subs bench ever. And they've still managed to beat us. Their second string was so much stronger than ours. And, you know, for us, the misery of this season is almost over. We will finish the bottom club out of the West London clubs. Fulham and Brentford will finish above Chelsea this season. I'm just so desperate for this season to end. And I tell you what, if this season had been another 6 weeks longer, we genuinely could have been sucked into a relegation battle. Like, so poor has our form been since the turn of the year. And genuinely, if the season were to last another 6 weeks, I think that we could have been sucked into a relegation battle. You never predict Chelsea to win a game of football now. You know, we've got a win. We beat Bournemouth fairly recently, and that eased our fears and our worries about going down. But generally speaking, Chelsea, you can't see where a win's coming from. Like, today was our 10th defeat in 21 games. 10 defeats in 21 games. 19 points. Despite the fact that we had the most expensive transfer splurge in football history over the past year. No club has spent more in football history over the past year than Chelsea. And yet we've managed to secure 19 points in 21 games. We're averaging less than a point a game for half a season. That is the very definition of relegation. And it was all because of the takeover. Listen, I hope that Todd Boehly looks in the mirror and gets it right. I hope that there is a bit of introspection from everyone involved here. But I am very worried about next season. And if you're Mauricio Pochettino, surely you're looking at this and really querying, is this the right move for you? Because we are completely and utterly all over the place. And when I look at the players at our disposal, I just think that there are so many holes in the squad. For City, of course, it's totally different. They are on the precipice of something unbelievable. You know, I heard John Stones being interviewed after the game, and all he could say was surreal. I heard Erling Haaland, unreal. They know how impressive this is, and they know that they are on the precipice of something truly brilliant. Gundogan lifting the Premier League trophy, and Chelsea having to simply watch it happen. Painful season. Something that we desperately need to end. But look, the day belongs to Guardiola. He has now won 11 titles in 14 years of management. Only 3 managers have ever managed to win a league title when Guardiola has competed for it. Shall I tell you? Or do you want to guess in the comment? I'll tell you what, I'll tell you in 5 seconds. So if you don't want to know, and now, the answer is Mourinho, Conte and Klopp. Thank you for watching this pitiful from Chelsea. Please give the video a like if you've enjoyed it, and please click subscribe in a bit.